Today is Friday, February the 25th, 2022, and it's a great day to have a day here on the Spurs Up Show, the best Gamecocks podcast on the internet. And on today's show, I break down tomorrow's game as South Carolina looks to make it 5 straight wins on the hardwood as they travel to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to take on the 24th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. Guys, I'll break down the game in its entirety. First things first, we'll talk Alabama plus top storylines, Crimson Tide players to watch for, keys to the game, and I will lock in my prediction as well. Guys, got a packed show for you here on this Friday. And of course, as always, it's brought to you by the Spurs Up Show store. Guys, tsus.store. Stay tuned for all of our latest drops, including t-shirts, hoodies, pullovers, long sleeves, koozies, stickers, you name it. We got it. The best Gamecocks merchandise on the internet. Again, guys, that's the Spurs Up Show store, tsus.store. That's tsus.store. The best Gamecocks merchandise on the internet. Let's get it. Well, guys, you will never believe what I just did. So, as I'm sitting here on this Thursday afternoon in a bit of a time crunch because I'm about to go see Morgan Wallen in concert, I recorded the podcast, okay? I recorded the podcast, except for I forgot to click the record button. Something I have not done in a very, very long time, but it happened today. So, guys, we're going to go through this yet again. I'm going to be pretty quick, so I apologize if this podcast is a little bit shorter than your normal game preview podcast. But again, like I said, finished the show 20 minutes in and out and realized that I did not click the record button. I mean, you would think at the point I'm at now, being a veteran in the game, that, you know, that would not happen. But sure enough, hey, life happens. You guys roll the punches. And again, I appreciate you all. Your love and support, guys. Hey, quick reminder, Carolina Ale House this weekend, Sunday at the Harbison location, 2:00 tip-off as we watch the Lady Gamecocks take on Ole Miss in their season finale. Of course, baseball playing at 1:30 as well. So again, guys, would love to have you come out there. I'll be streaming the baseball game on my laptop. We've also got a great giveaway with Carolina Ale House I've posted on social media. We'll give away a piece of TSUS merch as well as Carolina Ale House swag, a $25 gift card. So again, be sure to participate in that on Instagram. And again, cannot wait to see you guys at Carolina Ale House on Sunday. All right, I've already done this once, so I should be able to run through it fairly quickly. But again, let's dive into the preview. Let's dive into the breakdown. The Gamecocks take on Alabama and Tuscaloosa at Coleman Coliseum, 6:00 tip tomorrow on the SEC Network. Bama has really had your number. They lead the series 22-14. You've lost 6 in a row and 8 of your last 9 to the Crimson Tide. And of course, guys, last year, Bama beat you by a final score of 81-78 in that season. The 24th ranked Crimson Tide, they are 18-10 on the year, 8-7 in conference play. Their head coach is Nate Oates, and they average 80.2 points per game, and they hold their opponents to 75.9 points per game. Now, when you move into storylines, guys, I think the momentum this team's playing with is where you really got to start. Just defying all the odds. And again, we talked about this on the Daily Crow yesterday that, you know, you can talk about Vegas and spreads and lines and predictions that I make and our thoughts on the team. But when you get hot like South kind of is, when you capture lightning in a bottle, as we talked earlier, and you're playing the way this team is with the edge, the confidence, the swagger, none of that matters. I mean, it almost kind of reminds me of the 2017 run, but in the regular season. You know, it's just wild. This team is playing and feeling like it cannot lose. And right now it can't, losing your last 4. So again, are you able to carry that momentum into Tuscaloosa and parlay that into a huge win at Coleman Coliseum, a place that you have never won before under Frank Martin? And that leads me, guys, in my next storyline, the House of Horrors for Frank Martin. That is Coleman Coliseum. There's only 2 arenas that Frank Martin has never won at in the SEC, and those are Rupp Arena and Coleman Coliseum. So again, is that something where he's able to snap that streak? And again, guys, it's crazy to see how streaky the Gamecocks are against certain SEC foes. And Alabama certainly won. They've had your number, and certainly in Tuscaloosa, a place that Frank Martin has never tasted victory. Can he change that? Hey, you broke a streak earlier this year against Ole Miss. Can you change that and snap that 6-game losing streak and get Frank Martin his first win in that building? Another big storyline, guys. Jermaine Couisnard. Can he keep it rolling? You know, none of us thought he was going to have 33 points again, but as you've seen, Coos obviously winning the Shooter Shoot Award back-to-back games. This dude is playing lights out. When he plays well, the Gamecocks normally win, guys. We talked about the stats a couple weeks ago. You know, when he has double-digit points and Keyshawn has double-digit points, things go really, really well for us. So, again, can Coos keep rolling? Can he stay hot? Can he continue to be, you know, I think your leader on the floor, and he's a veteran dude, and you love what you're seeing from his game. Another big storyline, guys, defensively, the zone defense. What a game changer that's been for Frank Martin. You know, Chuck Martin obviously suggesting it, and, you know, I think it was something Frank said he was hesitant to do, but I think it's completely changed the season, man. I mean, you hold Mississippi State 0 for 14 from three-point range. I mean, that's really why you won that game. That's why you won that game. So the zone defense going to continue to work, especially against an Alabama team that can shoot the heck out of the basketball. And, guys, my final storyline, simply put, can South going to solve the Crimson Tide? Can they be streak breakers yet again? Again, guys, like I said, there are just certain teams and coaches that Frank Martin and South going to have a lot of success against. And there are certain teams and coaches that, for whatever reason, they don't. And Nate Oates in Alabama is certainly one that you have not had really hardly any success. So, again, is South going to able to snap that streak? Obviously, we understand how important the game is, how pivotal it is. Don't have to explain that there. And it's a game you got to have where the Gamecocks able to steal one on the road. Guys, let's move to Crimson Tide players to watch for. You got to start with Jaden Shackelford, 16.8 points per game and 5.6 rebounds per game. Javon Quinterly is another one, 14.1 points per game and 3.1 rebounds per game. And then Keon Ellis, 11.7 points per game and 5.9 rebounds per game. You look at the keys to the game, guys. First things first, again, that defense. Win with zone. The zone defense is working. It's changed your season. Stick with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. My second key, dominate the charity stripe. Guys, in a game like this, you have to make free throws. Bottom line, you got to make your free throws. You were 10 of 11 against Mississippi State. You got to continue that hot shooting from the charity stripe. And my final key, continue to ride momentum. And I know I had that as a key in the last game, maybe even the one prior, but it's just true, man. It's true. Parlay positive momentum. Stay confident. Stay hot. Play with that intensity. Play with that edge. Play with that swagger. Because, again, you're probably going to be an underdog in this game by Vegas. But, guys, like I said, at this point in the year, it doesn't matter what Vegas thinks. It doesn't matter what I think or you think or the experts, quote unquote, think. Whatever. Hey, you're hot. You're hot. Stay hot. So, again, my three keys to the game: win with zone, dominate the charity stripe, and continue to ride momentum, which leads me into my prediction. Can the Gamecocks make it 5 straight wins and get one win closer to getting a tattoo of Frank Martin on my rear end? And, guys, like I told you earlier, there are certain teams that South Gun and Frank Martin, just for whatever reason, they dominate, and there are certain teams they don't have success against. Now, does any of that matter going in this game? Not necessarily, right? And as I said before, this is a South Carolina team playing, feeling like it cannot lose. And lately, it can't, right? Winning 4 straight and doing things that almost are kind of beyond comprehension and don't make a lot of sense, right? And I don't have to sit here, guys, and tell you, oh, this game's so important, it's huge. Like, we all understand what point in the season you're at and what is on the line for this basketball team. With that being said, South Carolina is going to lose a basketball game at some point. They're not just going to go undefeated the rest of the way out and go win the national year. It's just not going to happen, right? They're going to lose at some point. And if this game was at home, I'd probably side with South Carolina because of the momentum being at the friendly confines. I think that was a huge difference in the Mississippi State game. I think it was a difference in the LSU game. I think the Rowdy Roosters and the fan base have really shown up and shown out and fueled this team in those games at the friendly confines. But being on the road at Coleman Coliseum, Frank Martin's never won there. You've lost 8 of 9 to Bama. You know, on one hand, you could say that the Gamecocks are due to snap the streak against Alabama. On the other hand, I look at it and say, you know what? I think Vegas is going to make you an underdog yet again because they feel at some point, it's been a nice run, but at some point, South Gun is going to come back to reality. And I think this is the game that it happens. You know, who knows? I mean, maybe the Gamecocks can stay hot. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm an idiot for picking against them. But I do think Alabama's a quality basketball team on their home floor. They're 8-7 in SEC play. They need this win just as badly as you do, and they cannot afford a home loss. So with that being said, guys, lock me in. I do have the Crimson Tide getting the W. Final score, Alabama 76, Gamecocks 66. So again, would love to hear your thoughts, your score predictions, your keys to the game, all that good stuff. How do you think South Carolina will fare on the road tomorrow? But again, I've got Bama 76, Carolina 66. And again, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I'd love to see the story continue. I'd love to see the momentum continue for this basketball team, but I just think it eventually comes to a head, and I think South Carolina is going to run into a buzzsaw that is the Crimson Tide, and I think it's going to be a tough one for you tomorrow night. But again, guys, would love to hear from you. Would love to hear your thoughts, your predictions. Leave them in the comments below. And again, guys, thank you for rolling with the punches. I'm sorry this show was a little bit more brief than normal, but like I said, did the entire show, and realized I didn't hit the record button. So again, hey, the joy is in the journey. The beauty's in the banter, and sometimes, you know what, shit happens. So whatever, it is what it is. Guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the love and support this week, by the way, with all the content, the podcast, Daily Crow, graphics, the merch, everything, man. And really, really excited to talk next week. Of course, it is Carolina Clemson week, so we'll be on one all week long. But until then, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Have a fantastic weekend. Go Cox, beat Alabama, and we'll talk to you on Monday.